the regime and the media is playing like this is 25 years in the making. They should have got rid of him long ago, long ago. You have a different take on him being in charge versus who just took over. Explain, Joe.
Yeah, we should be very apprehensive right now about who just took over Syria. I think everyone agrees that Assad was a bad guy. He was a brutal dictator.
Sure.
But if we have learned anything from our recent past, when we replace one of these brutal dictators, a secular strongman like Assad, like Gaddafi, like Saleh in Yemen, what follows is even worse. And so far, the
Mhm.
table is not set to have any positive outcome for Syrians or for the greater region. Mohammed Jalani and Hayat al Tahrir al Sham, the group that just took over, they are part of Al Qaeda. Now, they've distanced themselves from Al Qaeda, but not very long ago, Mohammed Jalani had sworn an allegiance to Osama bin Laden's successor, Ayman al Zawahiri. Jolani cut his teeth fighting American troops inside of Iraq during the Iraq War. We actually detained this guy for quite a while. He came back over to Syria. He was part of ISIS for a bit, split from ISIS, and now he has been remaking himself in the last, I don't know, 6 months to a year as some sort of a secular reformer. So right now, we have toppled a brutal dictator who posed no threat to the United States of America, and we have replaced him essentially with maybe chaos and uncertainty. But at the top of this is a government ran by an Al Qaeda affiliate. So I don't think we should be popping champagne corks by any means. We should be watching this. We should be getting our troops out because people forget that we still have troops out there to the east that are embedded with Syrian forces, with Syrian Kurdish forces, and the Syrian Kurdish forces are basically in a shooting war with our NATO ally Turkey, and we're caught in between. So I agree with President Trump. Let's just get the heck out. There's no vital national security interest for us.
Yeah, I'm wondering why we even, and I know they were high altitude bombers, so nobody was at risk, but I'm wondering why we did those airstrikes on ISIS groups when it's this new group that formed from Al Qaeda that took over to show our strength, to kick them back from borders. Like, why would we throw a bunch of bombs within hours of Assad leaving to show that we agree with the group? I mean, what was that about? Why did we make those strikes? I don't understand that, Joe.
This is part of a campaign for us to justify the American forces' presence in Syria by saying that ISIS isn't defeated. Therefore, the incoming administration, President Trump, can't withdraw our troops. Otherwise, he'll let ISIS come back. Well, guess what? ISIS's cousins just took over the entire government, and we have Joe Biden celebrating it. As a matter of fact, under the Obama administration, we had a not so covert action program that basically gave these guys the seed money to begin this resistance well over a decade ago. And just last week, we had self-defense strikes by the U.S. forces, to include of A-10s, which is actually close air support, which isn't high altitude at all, that were conducted against the Iranian-backed militias that were supporting Assad. However, those Iranian-backed militias are coming from the government of Iraq. That means that we paid for them, and then we conducted airstrikes against them. And once we took them out, guess who filled the void? Hayat Tahrir al-Sham and these al-Qaeda affiliates and these ISIS affiliates did. So we just basically justified our existence for staying there. This is nothing more than the Biden administration trying to get Trump into yet another trap that he is stuck dealing with, and he can't quickly pull our troops out and pursue an American first foreign policy that the American people voted for.